Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. There's news just coming in that the NSE, the National Stock Exchange, has now got the approval from the capital markets regulator Sebi to shift its index derivative contract expiries to Tuesdays. Now, something that they have been asking for a long time. Joining in on this show with us is Mr. Sriram Krishnan, the Chief Business Development Officer of NSE, on the phone line with us. Warm welcome to you, sir, and many congratulations. This was a big ask from you, and finally, it's been, delivered as was your expectation, sir. Could you help us understand how big a positive is it going to be for NSE?
Thank you for having me on the show. Actually, it's a big thank you from the market ecosystem to the regulators, because this is not an ask from NSE but more from the market in terms of when we'd like to see the expiries happening for the NSE contract. As NSE has always delivered what the market expects to see. And we had several discussions with market participants and then announced that we would do our expiries on Monday, with effect from the first week of April this year. Around that time, Sebi requested us to put that on hold because a consultation paper was being issued in which they proposed either Tuesday or Thursday expiry. Following which, we had quick consultations with some of our verbal consultations, of course, with some of our members, and then we requested for Tuesday expiry because that's what the market wanted to see. So it's very, very great that, eventually after a few months of delay, we've got the permission and we can now implement this and go live maybe from the 1st of September.
Help us now understand how will life change for traders and how will things change for you as exchanges to shift your expiries now. For BSE, it's going to be Thursday. For you, it's going to be Tuesday now. So how are things going to be changed for our wider audiences, for traders, if you could explain?
See, when the weekly contract begins, the premiums are a little expensive. But as you go towards the expiry date, the premiums tend to go lower and lower, almost to zero on the expiry date. And therefore, when NSE has expiry on Tuesday from the first week of September, what it means for traders is that NSE premiums are likely to be on the lower side for 3 days. And, during those 3 days, there is no other expiry of any other exchange coming in between. So, in other words, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, those are the 3 days that I'm talking about. These 3 days, we are going to see possibly more activity from market participants on the NSE contract. So that's the change that you will see effective first week of September.
Right. Mr. Krishnan, if you could also explain to us, we've also seen times when every day used to be a big expiry from both the exchanges. For mid caps, for banks, it was separate. There was a huge shift in volatility volumes as well across the board, and therefore Sebi did come out with a concern as well that they do not want every day to be an expiry for an index, specific index from each exchanges, and that's why they wanted to limit this to at least 2 days. Do you think things will normalize after this decision of Sebi now?
See, the concern of Sebi is very valid, that there is a lot of retail speculation happening on expiry days. Therefore, we had also, supported that view, and in the interest of the retail investors, we had in fact suggested that there should be just one expiry day for the entire market. However, Sebi had issued a consultation paper on the 27th of March in which they proposed to have 2 expiry days a week, and the consultation paper proposed that exchanges could have their expiry either on Tuesday or on Thursday, and that is the basis on which we then chose to go for Tuesday. I think in the overall scheme of things, it's a good thing to have lesser expiry days, no doubt about it. Probably the one expiry day is the right option or right solution, because the current construct of 2 expiry days possibly then makes it a bit unlevel for the new entrants who also want to bring in equity derivative products. There are a couple of other exchanges in the market who also want to enter that space, but from their perspective, possibly this is a little unfavorable. But be as it may, I think in the overall scheme of things, the regulator has taken a call, and we will respect that.
Please, sir, if you could also help us understand, what about the market share gains here, since now you have the Tuesday expiry and BSE has a Thursday expiry? Do you think there will be a shift of volumes considerably? Will the market share also increase, something that was getting shifted and distributed earlier?
See, market share for us is just an outcome. We don't focus on market share per se. But yes, there will be more activity on the NSE contracts. There's no doubt about it. So NSE contracts are, enjoying a market share of the high 80s, even on the Tuesday right now. Monday or Tuesday, not if not high 80s, at least 70 to 80%. So that's a high enough market share for the contract to enjoy when it's not even the expiry day. So this is only going to increase further, and that's because the market participants want to see it that way. And it's I think the right outcome in the circumstances, given that's the public ask.
Right. Mr. Krishnan, just last final question that I have with you is, this is one more, progressive step that you have. Everybody is keeping an eye out on the upcoming NSE IPO. Do you see finally things falling into line, and we could be probably seeing a sooner listing than has been anticipated now, with all things getting into place now, all the issues getting sorted, and now you have the expiry decision also coming in?
I'm not able to comment on the NSE IPO. I think whenever the regulatory approvals are in place, possibly that's when the IPO will take place.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Krishnan, for being with us on the program. I wish you all the very best, and speaking to us on this very important issue. This does give a lot of clarity for something that the markets had been waiting for. Congratulations yet again on the Tuesday expiry. So yes, volumes will be much better, and you can actually see more activity on Tuesdays when it comes to the NSE expiry, is what Mr. Krishnan has marked out. Finally, the expiry decision that was awaited from Sebi's end has come in. NSE has got that Tuesday expiry. Now BSE will have a weekly expiry on Thursday. NSE will have a weekly expiry on Tuesday. That's what we are given to understand. Viewers, we'll wrap it up on that special note, and we'll continue to get you all those insights from the same story throughout the course of the day. We'll put out snippets, and importantly, September onwards is what you could actually see these new decisions being coming into effect.
Is Boeing's flagship Dreamliner rapidly turning into the stuff of nightmares? Even as the probe continues into what led to Air India's Flight 171 crash,